Thank you, organizer. I am thankful to AERB and INS for giving me the opportunity to talk in front of the most learned fraternity in nuclear and radiological aspects. Actually, last 2 years, I have worked as an operator and regulator. 2 years, I had the opportunity to work in the other aspects as a central government NDMA. And I happened to be present during G20, and on the backdrop of COVID, when the entire world or in our India health infrastructure got dislodged. So our Honorable Home Minister was very concerned about our nuclear industry. He took a presentation from NDMA that, as you will be asking the question, what is their role and how they are going to work during nuclear and radiological emergency. So I will be focusing on that aspects. Let me see with the time how much I can do the justice with that aspects. So I start from the fundamental safety principle. Number 9 desired that emergency preparedness and response arrangement must for nuclear or radiological incident, and who are the agency? Licensee, employer, the regulatory body, and appropriate branches of government. So I have the opportunity to work all 3 areas. So let me see that what is our Indian infrastructure, how they are going to help us. So that also includes even national level and international level. Suppose Bangladesh is making reactor in our border. Some questions came, how is it going to affect India? That also comes in talks in some in between. So this is the classification. It's well known to all of you. I am not talking about first 2. I will be concentrating on third one, that offsite emergency. And you will be knowing that NDMA has got document. See, implementation is, AERB has got document, and they implement it whatever way they want. But everywhere, if national level, NDMA has got document, even the NDMA people doesn't know what document they have. Because nobody reads, document have been prepared, implementation will come when it requires. When during G20, entire Delhi work on war footing, and you know what is the anticipated incident they expected? They expected CBRN. CBRN full form, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear. So with these aspects, entire, you can say, management has given responsibility to NDMA that they will look after it, and then police officers, all militaries, then civil defense, everybody was asked to assemble, and NDMA will give training. So that aspects also I got experience. I was lucky enough to present during that time also. So I will be talking about the topside emergency, and you will be surprised to know, as per NDMA manual, that district collectors is not supposed to delegate his power during the emergency. How to implement and how to make effective, that is different issue. But this is the word written there in the NDMA 2009 manual. Now coming to that, see, again, Honorable Home Minister asked before that, what is the NDMA NDRF role during nuclear emergency? So I was asked to prepare a presentation for Home Ministry. I prepared it as usual, and based on my regulatory background and operator background, I wanted to put whatever way because I will be teaching them, then only they will be presenting there. So there, I put our current regulatory standards such that nobody will get afraid. And I took the shelter that in the last one, in case of severe accident, no permanent relocation of the population. People will not be afraid about their property. They will be able to come back. So let NDMA talk to Home Ministers that our latest regulatory requirement, 2014 Siting Code, asking this. The first one, design basis accident. No need for off-site countermeasures. Very good. Second, decay. no necessity protective measure in terms of sheltering, evacuation for people living beyond EZ boundary. That is our regulatory requirement, and accordingly we are in regulation. And third one, no permanent relocation, the need for off-site intervention to be limited in area and time. So NDMA secretary become very happy, okay, this is already there, so we don't have to bother, so we will be explaining to Home Ministry. So now, you see that NDMA organization, how it works. If you see here, light is see, this is corner ministry department. Our DAE itself is ministry. I am taking shelter of that. So in PCL, AERB, I put it in one place, and that district collector we are talking about, they will do the job, but they need support of SDMA. DDMA is District Disaster Management Authority, SDMA State Disaster Management Authority, and they have that interaction with NDMA, NDRF, and then National Executive Council, Home Secretary, and it goes to Cabinet Secretary, and finally NDMA is independent body that directly reports to PM like our atomic energy does. So without any interference. And the beauty is that in the name of disaster management, there is no three quotation not required. Anything you want to procure, you can procure it. Or single quotations. That's the advantage. So this is the overview of national level response. And coming to that NDMP, National Disaster Management Plan, 2019, which is the latest document, and everybody, all ministry has to follow, including DAE. Nobody can get escape from that. So this is that, see, this left side is top level decision making. That comes the Cabinet Committee on Security, and then National Crisis Management Committee, NCMC, that is a top management committee, and then State Unity. And this side, if you look at that NDMA, and below to NIDM and NDRF. Actually, off-site emergency is managed by NDRF. I'll come back there, what way they can help us. So they will be taking help of CAPF and all these things. This is, and they are not actually line of authority. They are mere line of, you can say, comment or information change system. Now, what is the role of NDMA? Same question was asked by our Honorable Home Minister. So, this is that role. NDMA will support overall coordination response during off-site emergency. So, NDMA is for all disasters. 17 disasters have been identified in NDMP. All disasters, and nuclear and chemical, they are all man-made disasters. Remaining are all natural disasters. So they will be supporting. They are making guidelines and taking decision to deploy NDRF. And then NDRF will be deployed depending upon the request from state government and district administration. And for this August audience, I will tell you that you also can call NDRF if required. If they are so much prompt and they are so much effective and they are so much efficient, they reach there. And they within some time limitations. So NDMA has published guidelines and manuals on radiological emergency and medical management. That is the latest one. I will show you later on. NDMA has prepared SOPs in coordination with MHA for effective handling of radiological and emergency in public domain. One way nuclear and other way radiological, because there are several sources available in the public domain. But if you look into that, finally it is a radiological emergency, let it originate from nuclear power or from a radioactive sources. So all the central ministry will make their disaster management plan, which is to be approved by NDMA. Nobody is spared. Recently, DAE also submitted the disaster management plan, and that was approved when I was present there. And then NDMA, for public domain, they have distributed 930 go-no-go gauges in 56 cities for detection of and management of orphan and unauthorized radioactive sources in public domain. That is something I will tell you. We take the credit of that. We said, okay, Mayapuri kind of incident cannot happen because this is there in police van. Then one of the IS officer will be asking you, how many you have detected so far last 4 years? I said, no, it's not working. I said, sir, otherwise we are not allowing to incident happen. That is our safety cultures. And AERB and DIE takes care of every moment. So that's why it is not happening. It does not mean our program is ineffective. Then NDMA members, after when Home Minister took the presentation, he instructed NDMA members to visit all nuclear power plant and see their preparedness. After visiting 2 or 3, they found it is so much robust, and they could not get anything to give some kind of advice. So what I made, I was part of that team. I made that we'll go to district collector office and see their preparedness also. So we happened to be in Karwar district collector office, and there Secretary NDMA picked up a phone, and surprisingly it was a hotline with the Kaiga nuclear power station. He was surprised. Somebody has lifted in control room. Yes, that hotline connectivity between the disaster management cell in district and nuclear power plant is established and effective. That has been surprise checked by Secretary NDMA. So during my presence, again, Home Minister instructed NDMA to conduct regular training course for district collectors. Why? Because he might have sent something. I will tell afterwards his recommendations, what he recommended, he himself. Accordingly, every 6 months, we will have online meeting with district collectors, and they will be sincerely attending that meeting. I have seen all 3 cases. This is the NDMA organizations. Top is chairman PM, below that vice chairman, and then members come in pictures. There are 3 technical division and 2 administrative division, and below that NDRF and NIDM. They are the part of disaster management, and they are not as such. Earlier they were reporting, now they are not reporting, but they will be listening to NDMA. So NDMA document, what I said, you just look at it. Disaster Management Act, of course, this is the topmost, like our Atomic Energy Act. Nobody can challenge that one. And guidelines for management of nuclear and radiological emergency, 2009, it was been published. And there are many things I have gone through because of AERB have it, line by line, each and thing. There are like our Fukushima recommendation, there are short-term, medium-term, and long-term recommendations, and many of them have not been implemented. Then National Disaster Management Plan, NDMP, we talked a lot on that, and see what are the changes and what they are called for. And then, of course, SOP, 2 SOPs are there. One is for nuclear radiological emergency, another SOP 24, that is confidential. I am not talking about that. Okay, now NDRF. I said NDRF is the savior for all kind of disaster, including the nuclear and radiological. And they have got expertise, they have got instrument, they have got all kind of PPE suits. They will be working during the off-site emergency if you require evacuation or sheltering or medical management. So NDRF is multidisciplinary, multi-skill, high-tech force, and provides support to local administration. And during G20, India has got 4 hazmat vehicles because NDRF wanted it. They are for CBRN, for all, not only radiological nuclear, they are for chemical and biological also. 4 have been acquired, and another 12 already permission have been obtained. and that will be coming very soon. And then they will be assisting the local administration in case of any emergency during nuclear. So, how many NDRA people are there? How many places? There are 16 battalions and spread across the India. So they can reach any places. You might have seen during any cyclone, flood, or any cases, visible only NDRF, nobody else. Actually, SDRF is also supposed to come in pictures, but all state has not still able to come out with the SDRF forces. So NDRF is coming in picture. There are 16 battalion, and like our RRC, RERC, or nuclear, 24, here also they have got around 27, because everything cannot be, say, Bombay there is no battalion, but they have got near airport there is RERC, RRC. So like that, the 16 battalion and RRCs are present, and each battalion is having around 1160 number of NDRF, comprises of each field. Let it be flood, and there are several RSO. Somebody was morning was facing. Actually, I will tell you, we should give more and more training and make RSOs. NDMA has got Abda Mitra scheme, and they are trained volunteers for many disasters. They have been training, they have targeted for 1 lakh. I think we will also target some number of RSO, let them be in the nook and corners. If they can get a good job, why not? We should encourage that. And they will be helping us, they will be our third eye for AERB. So during the Home Minister meeting, they asked how far it is from nuclear power plant, whether they will be able to reach in time. You know that entire Delhi culture is that they don't understand nuclear radiological emergency. They equate with Bhopal, and they heard about Chernobyl and Fukushima. So they mean nuclear accident happen, instant death. Nothing, we cannot do it. Until unless it is a severe deterministic dose, nothing to happen. Even sheltering can save a lot of lives. So, but somebody has to explain. So these are the areas, distance, accordingly where the distance is more, Home Minister has recommended that we should have one RRC for all nuclear plant, 7 sites, and now 8 sites is coming in Gorakhpur. So all places will have, and that work is going on, and it will come very soon. This is the hazmat vehicle. I was part of that fabrication and technical support. So this has been prepared, manufactured by Bharat Electrical Limited. 4 are already deployed, and 12 are coming. Now, since NDMP has given the roles and responsibility of all ministry. All ministry, DA is a ministry, and which is relevant, I have copied, because it is each having 7-page document, if you read it. So here, the first ones, what AERB will do, I have put it in the red line. They should appoint and maintain area-wise details of radiological safety officer, trained medical personnel, first responder, trained volunteers. That's why I'm asking. They are supposed to, that is NDMP is asking, we have to do it. If you have not done, of course AERB is having that RSO database, but we have to share it and maintain it along with the trained medical officers also. And other, if you see that second column, it is that Ministry of Defense, National Executive Council, SDMA, NDMA, everybody is part of all this management. And then, again, I am focusing on AERB because this theme is AERB, and they have to prepare and enforce safety regulatory requirement to set up regional regulatory centers. It was NDMP, they asked us accordingly, AERB has done it. So they have asked, and overall coordination is DAE. That we will call, that is the governor. Now challenges and issues are, there are 11 challenges I could say, and you also will be realizing it. that first one is the local administration, when I talk about incident commander or district collectors, their high turnover is very high. Keeping them agile is a serious issue. 2 years back, the district collector have interacted. He is not that in post. He has been shifted to somewhere else, in some other. So he learned something. He was trained, but he has been transferred to some other places. That is the first issue. Second, health sector. See, during COVID time, all doctors, they do not know what is to be done there, what is the symptoms. Mayapuri time, we have seen what difficulty was faced by the doctors to identify the radiation sickness or related diseases. So, again, after the meeting of Home Minister, he has asked the Health Ministry to give training to more doctors. I'll come back to that. And the local population, IAS, IPS, and ministers are not aware of the safety measures in place and management of any kind of accident leading to radiation fallout in the surrounding areas. They are not aware, so they have to be educated by some or the other means, whether you call IAS officer batch every time to DAE and give them training, they are going to be our administrator later on, whatever may be you theta. Then, most of the NPPs are located in a remote area where the development index is very low. And the NGOs, anti-nuclear lobby, they spread all rumors. So this is another issue. Then there is an issue of cultural dimension. What I mean to say, if you go to Odisha coast, people know during any cyclone what to be done. There will be no death as of now. Local population has got knowledge about that. But in nuclear, we are lucky enough or unlucky, whatever say, that experience is missing. Because accident doesn't happen. And whatever fear we have acquired through the social media, that is there in the back of mind. So there is the issue of cultural dimension. We have to take lot of work in this field because there are a lot of ifs and buts. Okay, if I distribute the iodine tablet, it is enough. That is the perception of Home Ministry. Distribute iodine tablet, okay, we have saved. I say, sir, you are saving one organ. Only one organ. And that is not all about the radiation-related tablets. So that is the perception having all IS officer, IPS officer, or top police officers. And realistic drill or exercise is not possible. Then, again, risk appetite for scientific community and administration is different. We have to take risk, then only we can go for nuclear power. But they say we have zero tolerance, no risk. So how it is feasible? And there should be constant dialogue from a faithful, trusted person. See, if some diseases happen, whom you believe? Your family members? Your neighbors? No, you believe doctors. Correct? No? Similarly, regulators, AERB is the most trusted member in nuclear community. They can do a lot of things. Of course, INS can also take this kind of making it familiarity with the job. And SDMA, district collector will be a handicap auntie unless he has to report to the state, their hierarchy. So SDMA has greater role and they have to involve during all exercises. They are not taking place. Then this evacuation plan, medical emergency plan will be integrated. It has been talked about. And it has to be all hazard approach. And the last one, actually, I will explain a little bit. Social inclusion for disaster risk reduction during nuclear emergency. What is that? Let's see. What is social inclusion? You know, world is aging. And this Fukushima, 90% death happened to the people because of evacuation was more than 66 years. And globally, 10% of the world population is already over 60. And as of 22, in India, almost 15 crore people are above 60. That is almost 10.5% of the country's population. And added to that, physically handicapped and all other things are also there under 2-3 crores. So, the surprising thing is that we are talking about 2047, the elderly population is expected to surpass the number of children aged 0 to 15 by 2046. This is the social inclusion for evacuations. And that has been given recent importance in NDMA 2019. And NDMA is insisting upon that for all hazards, including nuclears. So this, you know that populations of aging and physically handicapped, they will be in the remote area more. So recent initiative, what I talked about, the Home Ministry in 2020 to 17 April, he took the presentation from Director General NDRF and Secretary NDMA, and that was attended by our Secretary DAE, then our CMD and PCL and other secretaries. He has given 15 directions. He himself has given the direction, and that minutes I have sent the compliance subsequently, and most of the things are in good shape. So if I read it, time is there. Okay. Okay. So NDRF to deploy one team each district near the NPP. That is Home Minister recommendations. Like that. Third one you need. There needs to be clarity on how long will it take to provide an assessment. He's asking DAE. Whether it is hours, days, months after the nuclear accident happened, assessment, how he will be telling us to take the actions. So like that. And then he asked hotline connectivity. That has been done. That should be part of the regulatory requirement he's asking. And you know, 13 number, you did it. In case of any leakage, he talks about leakage of radiation leakage. The quantum of medicine, he's talking about potassium hydrate, need save at least 10,000 people. But our nuclear power plant having more than lakhs distributed over the health centers nearby. So he's telling minimum 10,000, like people will not die immediately, give the tablet, like that. This is the perceptions. So a joint team NDRF and NDMA to visit, that is the Home Minister recommendations, and DAE was advised to how many people have died during Fukushima or Chernobyl, and what way you are going to take care of that aspects. So this is the area for improvement in emergency preparedness. What? It should be GIS-based, Geographical Information Systems. Today, you can book Ola, Uber sitting at home. Mobile is there, digital technology is there. And we should not depend upon the population numbers on the census. It should be daily updated. You should know the number of cattle through GIS. And NDMA is working on that for all disasters. We can do it for nuclear also. And then real-time monitoring. See, this common alerting protocol has been implemented by NDMA. People, those who are affected zone, they will get alert immediately. Nuclear also, we can be integrated with that. And capacity. Last one, but not the least one, social inclusion for disaster risk reduction in nuclear emergency. That has to be, none of our documents has been prepared on that aspect. We have to have some kind of thoughts in that. And I was going through the NDMA guideline 2009. There, you know, SDMA is required to identify and list officer of total responsibility issue related to nuclear and radiological emergency. That means in 7 sites, we can ask SDMA or NDMA to put somebody who is having knowledge of radiological emergency. He will be our helping hand. That is already stated, but it is not implemented. Then they should have necessary fund, DDMA and SDMA. We have to check it. Who will check it? I do not know. And then equipment of RRC, the NDMA will be giving fund. I said disaster management fund is enough. Government is not bargaining on the disaster management fund. That fund has to be properly given to the purpose. But again, nuclear radiological emergency doesn't happen. It will not happen. So people forget it. So we have to have, everybody has got mobile with you. And you know, there are beautiful apps for emergency management. You can download it. I have downloaded it. It is available with me. These are the apps. Trace, IES prepare, and that, and then PAT. And then another two apps, that is ERG 2020 and this WISER app. Both have been developed by USA, and NDRF is rigorously using these last two apps. And this is first one is exclusively for nuclear radiological emergency. And I will be telling thank you with a small little bit my experience in Delhi and some story. You know, in Delhi, those who are not gone to Delhi, if you walk near that government colony, you will be finding this kind of things in the vehicle. And in Mumbai, what do you see? No parking area. Obviously, no. I was shocked enough. Every car is like that. Then I asked, which colony it is? They say it is the colony of top police officer. So I said, what is this? So they have locked their car such that it cannot be stolen from their houses nearby. And this is experience-based modern technology, not theoretical. What they have learned, what they have seen, they have done that emergency preparedness. Our nuclear emergency should be experience-based, digital, and practical. Thank you very much.